Hello, can you hear me? My computer had an update, and so I'm really hoping that it didn't mess with all my settings again, as it so loves to do. Loud and clear. Okay, very good. Very, very good. Hello, Lab Wolf. Night Wasp. I know, I do. I need to make Bellsprout a nice little house. I was thinking of moving him in with me, you know, to repay to repay the debt of taking his blocks away. It was just so sad. Hello, caffeinated. All right, let's play our game, shall we? Here, this is working. Audio works. You guys hear that? Looks like you can. It appears to be so. Yes, sir. Okay, very good, very good. I just remembered we're at the new area now. What was this place called? It was Sky something? Sky... Oh, I forgot we're a little nerd, too. A Pokemon is still the talk of the town today. Head to the Withered Wasteland Pokemon Center to talk to them. Okay, hold on. We'll just make a slight... Sparkling Skylands. Okay, let's make a slight detour. And then we can come back here through the other place. Hello, Drudid. Hi, Scotty. Ditto is so dang cute. They really just knocked it out of the park with this game. Oh, Scyther lives here too. Hey, dude. Look at how Scyther walks. Oh! Oh! Nice. Glad he likes that. Still 50-50 on whether or not I should get this game. What are your thoughts on it so far? So far, this game has made me feel so good about my decision to buy a Switch 2. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I got my Switch 2 initially for Legend ZA, and while I really enjoyed that game and actually had a good time, this game I have spent so much time just like exploring and building and just... I've spent more time on my Switch 2 on handheld mode since this game came out than a long time. Like maybe the last 10 years my Switch 1 in handheld mode. Huh? A human? No. You smell different. Oh, you say you're looking for a human. I certainly haven't seen you around here. So much quieter than you used to be, like a fire's gone out. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure Lampet shows up when people are about to die. At least humans. Hey, is it alright if I help you look? It'd be so nice to see everyone again. Yeah, let's read this Pokedex entry. Lampet appears at the moment of death and promptly absorbs the spirit as it leaves the body. Yeah. That's what I thought that said. Like, please, can we please meet some people? Alright, Lampet. Welcome to the gang. Is that who was new here? It did say to head to the Pokemon Center. I don't know if there's someone else. There's just cute little Hoppip in here. Lampet hungry. I have a craving for souls. Do you know where they might be? Wow, I wonder what the humans are up to right now, wherever they are. Okay. I'm pretty sure that was the Pokemon that I needed to meet. So we'll get back to Rocky Ridges and go through the gate. Oh, Lab, well, thank you for the 10 stream streak, by the way. All right, so definite recommendation to get it. I can't deny it. I can't deny it. I highly recommend it. But also, if it's your type of game. So this is from the same creators as Dragon Quest Builders. It plays similarly to like Animal Crossing, a little bit of Minecraft, a little bit of Viva Pinata in there. But it's a Pokemon IP, so at the end of the day, if you love Pokemon, you're gonna enjoy this game. It's just been so fun. It's really cute and also a little bit depressing, but I'll try not to spoil. Okay, let's put, I don't know, this, oh, this makes glass. Don't mind if I do. Do we have any fire types nearby? Anyone willing to make some materials for me? None of these guys. Ace Cow, hello! Can't stop more because I reached the number. Oh, it's been a good run. Thank you so much for the 69 months, Ace. God, all these big numbers.
Can't sub anymore.
Really appreciate the support. Hey, come here, little score bunny. Oops. There we go. It was a long drive back. Oh my gosh, you already went to Disneyland. How was it? Did you have a good time? Here we go. Oh yeah, and look, I can water this whole area now. Wait, look. Did our head just get huge when we did the empowered water gun? Stop. Why is that so funny to me? Wiseman, hello! When the Pokopia apocalypse insanity is going on? 62 months!
When the Pokopia apocalypse insanity is going on? 62 months? Where did the time even go?
I literally don't know. It went so quick. Hey, thank you so much, Wise One. So good to see you. Oop. Okay, let's not get distracted. We got a new place to explore. Wait, what is he saying? Comfort levels. Okay. The power of cooked food is certainly nothing to sneeze at. Pokemon do love to eat. If you place their favorite foods near their homes, I believe that should improve their comfort levels. Oh, I haven't even done that. So many of the Pokemon keep telling me what their favorite food is. And I keep being like, oh yeah, nice. I keep forgetting to give it to them. Whoops. Any new Pokemon since last stream? Yes, we just barely went back to the first town. And we met a Lampent that was extremely dismayed that there were no humans around. Seize the Week Volume 8. The Pokeball variation we'd like to showcase this week is none other than the Love Ball. This odd ball makes it easier to catch Pokemon when yours is the opposite gender. What's not to love? Did you all know about this ball? Oh, I knew. Oh, the smile emote. Cute, the heart hands. Amazing. All right, to Sparkling Skylands we go. I wonder how big the dex is for this game. Would I ever be scared or nervous to approach you IRL when you make a return to conventions? No. Why? I would hope not. I'm not a very intimidating person. I don't know when the next time is gonna be that I get to go to a convention, but gadzooks. Have we actually climbed all the way above the clouds? Small wonder it was so exhausting. It looks as though the land of this area is held above the clouds with those bluish white rocks, giving the appearance of islands floating in the sky. First things first, we'll have to come up with a way to get to the island over there. No, I'm way ahead of you, way ahead of you. The mom gun's not true. Yeah, what can I say? I'm pretty strong now. Can't deny it. Here we go. You go to Pokemon Worlds with your hubby and Ray, and I see, should I be scared to ask for pics? No, of course not. I'm always grateful and happy to meet people. Let's get this place humid. This area is really cute. Look at that. It's such a big area now. Oh, there's already 2 more Pokemon. Trapinch? Trapinch, this is not what I would have guessed for you. Hey, you, listen to this. I was gonna use my jaw to dig myself a little home in the ground, but honestly it seemed like way too much work. But then I stumbled upon a spot that's totally perfect for me. What are the chances, right? What? You made this home? With that jaw? Wow, that's jawsome. He's like, listen, I was gonna be in the ground, but I decided to not live there instead. This Pokemon lives in arid deserts. It patiently waits prey inside a funnel-shaped nest. Jawsome reminds me of Street Sharks, if anyone remembers that cartoon. Oh! Pupitar! What are you doing here? Hi. We've never met, right? Sorry if I'm a bit restless. I found myself the perfect home and I can hardly stop from jumping with joy. Maybe I don't look it, but I really love bouncing around, you know? I'm pretty fast, too. I believe it, Pupitar. Kenichi! Thank you so much for gifting that sub! I appreciate it. Good to see you. Its shell is as hard as bedrock and is so very strong. Its thrashing can topple a mountain. Hey, who's in here? And the tier 3 for 89 months, man. Thank you. It's Vulpix. Oh, one sec. Scratch, scratch. Whew, I'm done. I have so many tails, it's hard to keep my fur tidy. Anyway, now that I'm all sorted, let me greet you properly. It's great to meet you. Wow. So cute. From its mouth spew flames that seem to resemble the spirits of the deceased. Some people mistakenly think the fire is a ghost. Whoa, that's a cool dex entry. I don't know if I've ever seen that one before. Cool. Last button for now. Thank you. Oh. A waterfall. We must release the waterfall. Yeah. That is so nice. Oh, cute. I would love this if it's warmer. Oh, I can make you a campfire. I got so confused for a minute. I'm like, how do I make the terrain warmer? Right, fire. I left Professor Tangrowth behind. Oops. One moment. I'm coming, Professor. I'm doing so good, Kenichi. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your support, man. And I hope you're doing well too. In all my long years, I've never seen a tower quite as odd as this one. Would a human really have made this? You know, it's possible there's another Pokemon somewhere nearby, one that's good at building things, like you. Unlikely story. This machine here does look human-made, but I haven't a clue how to use it. It does appear you could stand on the platform. Okay, come here. Come here, bud. Get on. Come on. Get on here. There we go. Okay. What? Oh, I just talked to him again. Here we go. Hello. Oh, okay. He's going on his own. Thank goodness. Should I ever feel bad for missing your Resident Evil streams to avoid spoilers? No, please don't. Don't ever feel bad for missing any stream at all. I know how it goes. I avoid streams for spoilers too sometimes. A Pokemon Center. Oops. Oh, what? Oh, I didn't even see the Rookity. Whoa, somebody's here. Oh, hello, nice to meet you. How did you get here when you don't have any wings? Are you the kind of Pokemon who can fly even without wings? I want to learn. I wouldn't be surprised if you could learn how to fly sooner or later, Charlie. You seem to be familiar with this town. Would you tell us what sort of place this is? Are there any humans around? Humans? No, I've never seen one. Oh, but there are lots and lots of buildings and machines that humans built around here. Mostly broken ones, though. And the Pokemon Center is broken down, too. So what are we were thinking this is Celadon? Yes, I love it. There's lots of different islands, and it's really fun to fly between them. Or, well, maybe not if there's different islands. This island we're on is the biggest one. I just wish there were more Pokemon around. Yep, don't worry, I'm on it. Oh, Rickety's gonna help too. Alright, let's check it out. This Pokemon is brave and reckless. The white markings around Rookity's eyes intimidate faint-hearted Pokemon. I love Rookity. The Corviknight line is so good. Just a solid Pokemon all the way around. A rope. Yay. Comfort levels. Thank you, Professor Tingrowth. I figured it's probably the same stuff as usual. Woohoo! A berry table? Oh, this is gonna go perfect in Bulbasaur's house. 10 fireworks. I don't know how I feel about vertical mode on Twitch. Yeah. It's something that I'm a part of the beta for it, so I've been testing it out. But I've been trying to get a good use for my screen. I don't know. So feel free, any feedback is appreciated. Oh, what? A slide? That's wonderful. Box sofa. Oops. Fresh water. Oh, mysterious. We haven't gone to any cloud islands yet. I need to do that. Maximum items. Sweet. Yes. More recipes. Island flowers. The sturdy area. Oh, study area. I can't read. Okay. Bookshelf. I wonder who's gonna be there. Which Pokemon is very nerd? Concrete pipe secret base. Oh, that looks good. That reminds me of Pokemon, the second movie with Lugia. You know the mini Pikachu's Vacation movie that's before that? It's not Pikachu's Vacation, but it's the Pikachu mini movie with like the Houndour that lives in the pipe and everything. That's what it makes me think of. Grab this. Okay, nice. Oh, look at Sprigatito. She said, let me tell you something. Hey, Ditto, you know how you're always making homes for us? I know a home we could make. I'll tell you all about it. It's for a Pokemon called Froakie. I saw them in places like this all the time. Froakie? Got it. I'm on it. Let me tell you something. Hi, silly dilly. Froakie, rare and very rare. I wonder if that's gonna be the whole Froakie line. Maybe Greninja too. Oh, Cyndaquil! Cyndaquil? Oh my gosh. Stop it. Okay, where are the concrete pipes? My priorities have changed. Help. Just got a great idea. What is it? Silly Dilly, it's so good to see you. Oh, a building kit? Yes, okay, we could do that. We got more pokes to see. Dreepy! Hi! Poke. Poke, poke. Huh? Your body feels so weird. It's so squishy. You're fun to poke. I don't want to stop. Maybe I'll poke you again sometime. That one guy on Facebook, am I right? Those who remember. In the evening, groups of Dreepy will fly high speeds over the ocean and poke at Pokemon in the water for fun. Amazing. Cute, cute little Dreepy. Oh. The workbench? Let's see, I was gonna make... Yes, a fire pit for Vulpix. That's what they wanted. A cannon? Oh, I bet Dreepy would like the cannon too. Cool. Magic cart decoration. Do I get the concrete pipe? I wonder if I can find it anywhere. Maybe there's some up here? It's what you did when you had a crush, so true. Pokemon Facebook. Hello, Malachi. Good to see you. City Cottage Kit. Was there... Hold on, was this the beginning? Whoops. To a habitat? Oops. Mirror, sink, and towel. There's not a sink. I guess I need to build the sink. That I think I could do. It's over there. More stuff, but I don't see any concrete pipes. Hi, Papa Fuhrer! Thank you for giving that sub to Winter Kodiak. Is this the guy from Burn the Witch? Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. When David and I watched it, it's like, we have got to combine our powers combined. I need like a fuckboy emote that's him. Bruno Bang Knife. I can't believe you recognized who it was. That makes me actually feel so good about my art. Raichu. That's female Raichu. It needs the nature's market. Oh. Raichu is a cashier in nature. Okay. Good to know. Robust flowers. Oh, you need to connect it to another lift platform. Oh. I see. Oh, those are pipes. They're not concrete pipes, though. I can't make it over there. Oh, it's the cash register. Yoink. Oh. And this is the office shelf. Okay, hold on. We gotta make all of our stuff real fast. We gotta make a sink. Did you already beat Resident Evil? No, I'm doing my playthrough of Resident Evil on the weekend. So Saturdays, Sundays are for Resident Evil, and then the rest of the week is Pokopia. Just so I can hold myself to finishing it and not leaving it behind to just keep playing Pokopia. That's my goal, at least. That's a frame. That's great. But where's the mirror? Maybe I just can't make it quite yet. Oh, you know what? Actually, I need to make a house so I can come back and forth from here. That'd be a lot more helpful. Hello. Yeah, just so they have their own time. Oh, thanks, Rookity. Okay. We could build a set of 3 city den kit. A medium-sized, for medium-sized Pokemon are smaller. A Pokemart kit? Stop it. Stop that, that's so cool. I want to build one of these little houses up here. Okay. Let's go ahead and clear this out. Can I just water this whole area? So cozy streams during the week and evil streams during the weekend. Precisely. Also, because Resident Evil, I mean, Pokopia is a story game too, but because Resident Evil is so story, I figured the weekend spot might make more sense for it. I haven't uploaded my VOD of the last one. I really need to do that. Oh, the effects of food have worn off. Oh, I need to keep eating it to have the empowered water gun. Oh, shoot. I didn't know that. That does make sense. Good thing I had a soup on my person. Vern, thank you for the 97 months. I appreciate it. How was your Pokopia playthrough? You still having a good time? Oh, someone's over here. And gets Froakie. Cute. Croak, croak. Check out my bubbles. They're on a whole new level of supple springiness. Probably because I found a great home where I can get lots of rest. Whoa, what? You made this place? Because you want to make sure everyone's got a comfy spot to stay? That does it. I'm going to help you out. Just let me know if you need anything, okay? Cute. Maxing out environment for the cave place. Oh, cool. Protects its skin by covering its body in delicate bubbles. Beneath its happy-go-lucky air, it keeps a watchful eye on its surroundings. Froakie's so good. What a great Pokemon. Cinder, stop working. You're gonna wake up Ray Baby. Or I want to put this nice relaxing park kit right here. I do want to do this. I need more lumber. Damn. There we go. Do you ever get into Pokemon card trading game? Yes, I actually collect a lot of cards. I used to play TCG online quite a bit. Right now I mostly play Pokemon Pocket. But I haven't done any like IRL Pokemon TCG since I was a kid. But I do have a lot of cards. Lumber. Who can chop some wood from Cinder? Cinder, come here. What is he yelling at? Naughty. Sprigtato can grow things. Let's look in our little Pokedex. Who amongst us can we do befriended sense in this area? That's a good filter. Fresh bulldoze, burn, bulldoze, litter, water. Oh, Rookity can chop. Gather, search. Okay, nice. Rookity can chop. Very good. Perfect. Okay, while you're doing that, I'll also build an actual house, probably. Oh no, I can't build this one. Cause I need... no, I could if I would go back to the other place. Maybe I should just build a simpler house for the meantime. Okay. I don't even know if we've found a builder yet. Jupiter can bulldoze. You're making homes for Pokemon, right? Let me share you a little secret. There's a pond with a canoe in it around here, and a long time ago, I saw a Dragonite living in a spot like that. You don't say. Mr. Knight himself. The water lily. Seems super spacey, but they look so cool when they fly. Mr. Knight. Go find him. Oh! There's a lure. Photo number 7. Oh! Is that Miss Magius and Gengar looking at the sunset? Wow. Why'd that make me feel in my heart? Oh. There's another pipe right there. Nice. Waterside dinghy? Is that what it was called? That's a common. He just shows up here. I don't think I've gone up here yet. Oh. There's nothing to see. There's a furnace for electricity. Wait, come here. Come here, Vulpix. I need your help. What can we burn? I can burn a bunch of twine. Oh, I'm holding the wrong button. Nice. Whoop, turn around. Oh my gosh. I love that you can just find stuff in here. Just gotta do a little cleanup. Dude, Vulpix is so cute. Look how she's looking at it. Did you see her like crane her head? That was really cute. not fall off the mountain. Hopefully. Okay, we're safe. We're safe for now. You got any lumber for me, fella? Nice. We need Dreepy. Oh no, we still need more Pokemon. Oh, is that Dragonite? You say, hey, I really like this place. That bird is basically Home Depot. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, oops. I'm dying. Hold on. Help. Boy, that was embarrassing. Oh, that was a good sleep. Oh, hello there. Where did you come from? Huh? What? Oh, I'm so sorry. It's just so nice here that I keep nodding off. You made this home? Wow. I feel like I could fly forever if I just get in a good sleep here. He's so cute. It can fly in spite of its big and bulky physique. It circles the globe in just 16 hours. Dragonite Airlines. You made such a nice home. I really want to do something for you in return, but what can I do? Oh, I have an idea. You're a Ditto, right? So you should be able to transform into me. I can teach you how to fly like this. Oh my god. Glide. Press R while in the air to fly. Whoa, you look just like me. Okay, we should practice a little to make sure you can have fun and stay safe. Come over here with me. Talking like Dragonite is making me yawn in real life. It's a real life effect happening here. You're still a beginner, so it might be hard for you to really zip around the sky. Maybe fly wasn't the right word. Glide? Yeah, you'll be gliding. Okay. It's not exactly flying, more like falling really slowly. But that's okay, you won't have to worry about getting hurt and moving between islands. It will be really easy. Let's try getting to the next island. Just glide and follow my lead. Okay. You say so. We're so fat. Look at our fat little butt. Your big head. You got the hang of it. I feel like Dory when she's speaking whale. You got the hang of it. Yay, you really did well. Flying is lots of fun, isn't it? Now anytime you want to go to another island, you can just use glide. It'd be super easy. Bang, clang, crash, smash. Hmm? What's that sound? I think it's coming from the top of that building over there. I really want to know what it is, but I need to head back pretty soon. All these Pokemon are like, that's crazy. Ditto, will you go look at that for me? I bet you could climb up to the top of the building and check it out, though. Alright, Dragonite. That is what you wish. He's just leaving me. Hey! That's crazy. Who was that? I'm tinkering a ton today. Frick, Tinkaton? Oh my god. Tinkaton in this game? I'm coming, Tinkaton. Watch them just be baiting me. It's just not Tinkaton at all. What? What is Lugia? Can I? Okay, well. Maybe. Oh. Guys. Just keep falling. Stone. I did not do anything that I was supposed to do. I swear I pressed R. Maybe it just has to be a further drop. Can I hold on? No, I don't want to use my stone pillars. Hold on. We'll use limes. Yeah, we'll use more limestone. Now we're talking. Oh, we might have overshot it just a little bit. No! Oops. I messed up? Of course I remember you, Kiwi. Welcome back. Oh my god. Tinkaton, are you okay? Whoa. What's happened to your hammer? Is this an alternate form, Tinkaton? The Omni Tool Tinkaton? That's amazing. Yeesh, what a mess. I didn't expect a weird machine thingy to literally blow up in my face. Huh? Who are you? Where'd you come from? What are you even doing here? I'm making a town. Well, I'll be. You're fixing up the town to bring in more Pokemon. That sure sounds like a fun undertaking. It does. I love big, tall buildings, see? I spend my time collecting junk from here and there and trying to assemble it into something interesting. Like this tower here. I built this whole thing. Believe it or not, it's why I call myself the Tink Master. A Tinkaton that is particularly skilled with its hands, allowing it to make good use of other tools in addition to its hammer. It is very curious about buildings and machines made by humans. How cool! Oh yeah, I really love the different version. Could I ask you to give me a hand with something while you're at it, kid? I'm thinking it might even help with the town building you've got going on. Sure. Well, hey, I do appreciate it, and let's get down to brass tacks. I need to bring me 6 bricks of concrete. Think you can manage that? See, I need all the stuff to fix the lifts. The island of this town looked like they could all use a connected... They all used to be connected by lifts. I figured we could use them to come and go as we please, if we weren't all broken down, that is. I was thinking if the lifts are all busted, the obvious thing to do is fix them up, make them usable again. Turns out though, I need concrete for that, and I got no clue how to make any. I bet old Conklader knows how to make it. If you find Conklader kicking around somewhere, could you ask him to whip up some concrete for me? Just so you know, I bet Conklader's hanging out somewhere like this. Conklader. I've never called him Conklader in my life. It's Conkelder. I don't know why I keep saying it wrong. Furnace. Some pipes. Okay, I can make that. Surely. Limestone to make concrete. Oh. I just threw all my limestone over there. I will need that limestone back, I see. Recipe for a scrap cube. Nice. He do be a concrete elder, yeah. Whoops. Whoa. Wink. What? Can I take this? No? The neon flooring. Oh, I didn't see there was a rope here. I guess I'd still have to reach it. But now we could just part like whoops. Yeah. Now it shouldn't be a problem. Oh, I need this. I should look around if there's any of those pipes too. I'm sure there is. There's probably some back on the other island too. Oh, right here. I'm assuming I can stack these. Let's try it. Excuse me. Yeah, okay, good. Oh yeah, Kiwi! You're never gonna believe who we met. Hold on. Let me get back up here. I went the long way around. Say it isn't so. We'll just... Oh! That's not what I went to do. Put that back. Put it back right now. How do... Guys, help. How did I manage to do this? Can you please get back into your rope? Oh my god. This is so wild. I can't go up the rope or what? Okay, well, let's try this. Classic rope trick. Yeah, yep. What can I say? I really made such a mess of things here. Oh yeah, because they're not gonna fall down either. Oh my god. This is... Okay, well, it's alright. We can at least go back over here. And walk up here, and then we'll glide home. Yay! I know, I didn't think the limestone thing through, clearly. Very good. Yeah, look! Look at her, isn't she so cute? This is her little house with the fire pit so far. You going for a walk too? I love walks. It's gotten nice, thanks Ditto. Oh good. I'm in the middle of building actual houses, but... Oh, I'll give her a slide. Do you think she'll like a slide? I wonder if she'll use it. Let me just, I'm gonna put it like right here. Honey, your dad's coming. Hi Jamie. Good to see you. Okay, let's... The scaffolding. I don't want damn Conch Elder to live here, but if he's gonna help out. Alright. See you soon, Conch Elder. Give my baby a slide. What do you need, Sprigatito? A crop field and plant some vegetables. Yes. Come here. She can help me plant it. Oh, sorry, lookity. Nice. This is great. Okay. Now we can plant. What can we plant? Do I even have? Oh, I do. I've got some seeds. Make some bean sprouts. Do I have any others? Oh, I got wheat. That's good. The Home Depot bird also has a delivery service. I know. Rookity really does it all. Just a champ. Okay, Sprigatito, you can help out here. For now. I need a builder. I could settle down here nicely. There he is, the conch elder. This old place ain't what it used to be back in my day. Where's all the concrete gone? Used to stretch as far as the eye could see, but now it's plumb disappeared. I say this is a real pickle, but I suppose I'll just have to start spreading the word about concrete again. Starting with you, now listen up. Concrete's amazing. Why, you can do stuff with it or brandish it like a weapon. I'll make a concrete convert out of you yet. Oh my god. Oh, conch elder. It is thought the conch elder taught humans how to make concrete more than 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago? Conch elder was there for Jesus? Conch elder was at the crucifixion? The Romans. The implications, conch elder. Okay. Hi, Psych! Yoink. Okay. I need to make concrete. 30 years of making concrete. That's my stepdad. My stepdad's also in the concrete business. What's that now? You want some concrete? That's a mighty fine thing to be wanting, youngin'. You've definitely come to the right Pokemon. Just one little problem. If you make some concrete, you're gonna need a concrete mixer. It's a machine you put limestone into that material's key, mind you, and then it mixes it all up for you. Think you could procure one? Procure me one? Yes. Sorry, I can't read sometimes. Fun fact, I got information for the Charizard habitat. Only problem is I got lucky day one of my game and got Charizard already, so the habitat is useless now. Oh, really? You got Charizard day one? That's amazing. Wow. Roman concrete do be famous for it withstanding the test of time. So, what happened to Vulpix? Oh, she's okay. She got a little stuck there for a moment. Once you've made yourself a concrete mixer, set it up near the water. Let me know when you're done, you hear? Oh, and don't forget to have some limestone ready too. Oh, look at my look at my limestone. Oh, if only I hadn't used all my limestone. Oh my god. Okay. Well, baby. There's a way to do this, okay? We got 5 blocks of limestone. Magnificent limestone monument. I can't look at it. We're just gonna pretend it doesn't exist for right now. Oh, is he gonna take a swim? Oh my gosh. Just hanging out with Dragonite. Whoa. Oh, this game is so good. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Yeah, I moved Charmander and he just so happened to pop out. And what did you do to my baby? I didn't do anything. She was climbing the stairs and I thought she fell, but she's just fine. She's a-okay. Is there something else I should buy here? I'm gonna buy this damn Clefable statue again too. It's just so cute. The City Cottage kit. Is that for this one? City Cottage? Yellow Hut? That for this one? Yeah, I genuinely don't know. We'll just have all these down. They're just ready to be a part of something. There we go. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. Concrete that we do not have. What's he thinking about? Concrete mixer. How do I get a concrete mixer? Gotta move this. Okay, we gotta put the sink right here. And then we can put our bucket of cleaning supplies. And then we can reorganize our stuff and put our, what was it? The towel rack. We'll just put it right here. Now we just need a mirror and then we'll be good. Oh, anyone there? It's low tide. This water is so tasty. Oh, hi there, nice to meet you. Are you here for a drink of water too? I was so thirsty till I found this place. The water here is great. One gulp and I'm totally refreshed. I've definitely found where I want to live. Low tide. So cute. The leaf on its head is naturally dirt repellent and will stay clean even after transporting Pokemon that are covered in mud. Oh, wow. Sounds satisfying. Oh my god. Look at him. He's so cute. Hi. I want to be able to make things just like you, Ditto. You want something to relax on. Don't worry. I got just the thing. This'll have to do for now. He said, oh, a pop art bed. He's so happy. I'm so good at this. Guys, where do I get a freaking concrete mixer? Oh, someone else is here. Swablu. So this is who I expected over here with Swablu. You're not dirty or anything, are you? Oh, I mean, sorry to ask. It's just, if things are dirty around me, it's really hard for me to ignore. But anyway, nice to meet you. If you ever get all dusty, I can pat you clean with my wings. Okay. It can't relax if it or its surroundings are not clean. It wipes off dirt with its wings. Please come to my house. Please live in my house. I would be so grateful for the help. Oh, I should check the utilities, duh. Yeah, there's our cement mixer. Glad I picked up all of that iron before we came over here. I'll build one of these here too. That's probably a good idea. Okay. He said put the concrete mixer by the water. I don't want to like disrupt the other Pokemon's environments here. Maybe he needs just like a little bit more room. What town is Skyline supposed to be? I'm not 100% sure yet, but I thought it was Celadon. Okay, we'll process our 5 limestone. And then we'll get Conch Elder to come help out. Okay, get down from there! Hey, get down here! Dude, that, oh my, he listened. Hey, come here, pal. Hello, Donnie Brasco. Get to mixing. Well, now just leave this to me. Okay, sounds good. I gotta go find a tree. Is one of them gonna go down the slide? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Please go down the slide, I'll be so happy. Playing with Vulpix is so much fun. Will you please go down the slide? Someone please. Do you think if I talk to her and I look at the slide, maybe she'll play with it? No, it didn't work the same way as the other things. Can I go down the slide? No. Can I go? Hold on. Wee. Oh, Vulpix cheered for me. All is right with the world. Did Froakie just play with my child? I'm happy they're making friends. Yeah, they're buddies. Vulpix is friends with everybody. Look, she looks so happy by the slide. I love that. Okay, oh yeah, Raichu, hold on. Raichu needs a table? Oh, let me check. Let me double check the Pokedex real fast. That's not the Pokedex. Oh my god, that's Habitat Dex. Excuse me. Filter. in this area. Oh, so you can see all the overlapping ones too. How cool. I need to figure out how to make this boundless blue beverage. Please, God, help me figure it out. How do I make a soda float? Okay, I need a tree, 2 tables, a large boulder, and a cash register. I have the cash registers. Hard part out of the way, so maybe we'll go over here. Oh, there's a large boulder. Hold on. We might... Can I push the tree? Nope, I headbutted it. But I can push the boulder, so maybe I can push the boulder over here. Okay. We got the boulder. I need 2 of any table. I might have to... Probably have to build a table. Bench. Is there not? Yeah, I'll just make 2 straw tables. They're cheap. Dreepy's just sleeping. Okay. Where is our stuff? Am I blind? Oh, there. I thought it was a bed. I just made it and I still got confused. Okay, these 2 tables. And then our lovely cash register. Does the cash register need to be on for this to work? Move this closer. It's kind of wrong, but it's fine. It's on. How did I mess this up? Oh, Donnie Brosco, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. Where's my BFF Andy? He's upstairs. Working on something. Who knows? Large tree, large boulder, cash register, 2 tables. How is this? Oh, is it because it's already connected to this? Oh, it's Dreepy's house. Hold on, Dreepy. Yeah. I'm moving you. I'm moving you in over here. Want to move here? Hmm? Wow, this looks super awesome. Okay. Phew. Now I'm not destroying anyone's house in the process. Maybe I need to try like replacing it. What if I put like an office desk? Oh, so I didn't need 2 tables. I just needed to take up 2 blocks. Okay, that makes sense, actually. That's... It's checking out. Lugia again? Oh, whoops. Where are they? I have to stop looking into the air as I'm walking. I'm gonna fall off the cliff. Sounded like Lugia. Yay! Something I'd like to ask of you. Rebuild the Pokemon Center. Okay, you got it. We can do it. Is that a toilet? Whoa! Okay, well, I gotta buy a toilet. Magazine rack? Yes. So cool. I'm gonna run out of money. Oh, shoot. I gotta do more missions. But I can buy this right now. A Pokemart and a Poke Center. Awesome. Visit a dream island. Oh, okay. I need to talk to Drifloon again. I feel so at peace here. Is a girl Raichu? What? Here. Zip. Oh, that's coming along nicely. Goodness gracious. You didn't see that just now, did you? How frightfully embarrassing. I was just charging up electricity in my tail, you see, to help shake off the groggy feeling. I've been so sleepy, and if I don't have electricity, I simply can't muster up any energy. I wish I could see you through the tree. Aww. I love Raichu. Feels like it's missing something. Yeah, I bet. You're kind of far away from everybody too. Oh, I could get you this street light. Is this nice? Is that helpful to you? Really have a whole lot of decorations, huh? Oh, good. She calls me dearie. Nicer than before. Okay, we're making progress. That's what's important. Don't have too much to give you right now. What happens if I put these on? What's going on? Virtual mode allows you to visit another person's cloud island. Okay. Address of the cloud island. Oh, doesn't Pokemon have one? Can you do Poke Battles in this game? This game you cannot. It's a spin-off game, but you can do pretty much everything else besides battling. Okay, Pokemon Cloud Island code. Oh, it's... Okay, hold on. G... LB? Nope, L4. 2CF. 83P4. Are you playing on the Switch? Yeah, I'm playing on the Switch 2 right now. Oh, the code said L4, David. And I was like, 2CF. This is an interesting song. We're in virtual mode. Oh, cute. You can't access that. Oh, and then no one's in this one right now. So this is Pokemon's own Cloud Island that they made public for everyone. Oh, cool. Oh no, sorry, not yet. Oh, cool. Oh, look who it is. Hold on. It's Dedenne. Nice to meet you. And a Snorlax bed. Oh, that's nice. That's the stuff right there. Amazing. This is so cute. Who else is on this island? They got Rabu, Lucar. This is an Azumarill tub. We turned back into Ditto to lay in it. Stop it. That's amazing. That makes me so happy. Okay, I'm putting this in our Brock outfit. Whose houses are these? These are just empty houses. Oh, I can't fly here. Dang. This is so cute, though. All the little pillows. Is that Gulpin? Hi, who are you? Nice to meet you. Oh my gosh, Gulpin's here? How wonderful. And tires. Combi. I think that was Blossom? Oh, I love Blossom. Such a cute Pokemon. Oh, good. Lapras is here. Snoozing. With how watery this place is, I was like half expecting to see a Vaporeon, but that's okay. Don't always get what you want. I'm afraid I neglected my other two areas and keep working in the wastelands. It's okay, I did the same exact thing. I put so much effort into the wasteland. Is that a Pikachu couch? Oh. This just makes me think of Lunity. Like, she needs this. Can't you just see that, like, in the back of her stream? Like, behind her. The Pika couch. How do we crowdfund this? Golden. I love him. I love him so much. It's getting late. I'm gonna head out for the night. Enjoy the rest of your time on Pokopia. Hey, thanks, Caffeinated Vapor. Excuse me, not Viper. I keep wanting to say Viper for some reason. Have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. That's true, wise one. Like, is there anyone that I've missed? I don't think so. Oh! It let me use it this time. The heck? Wait, can I go in here to these empty houses? Oh, you can. They're really cute on the inside. Oh, and that's the surfing Pikachu statue. I haven't set that up yet. Probably need to. These are just little houses. There's probably not much in here. Yeah, it's pretty basic stuff. How fun. I love getting to see what the devs have worked on. That's cute. Oh, they don't have the electricity here though. Can't help it. I'm just too curious. I want to see the inside of everything. Ah, I'm right here. Hi, electricity. How are you doing? Oh, let's head home. This was fun. This music is so goofy. Ah, yes, home sweet home. Where everything is a total mess. Okay, let's check on our concrete first and foremost. Excellent. Bring it to Tinkerton. For a concrete pipe. Perfect. I can get my lovely, handsome little Cyndaquil. The limestone tower. Hey, we made it. I honestly wasn't sure if we were going to actually make it up there, so I'm glad it worked out for us. I hate to immediately hit you with another chore, but I actually need one more special part to get the lifts and work in order. What? Special gear. The problem is I can't find a gear like this anywhere. I figured just make one myself, but here's the I need an iron ingot. I got an iron ingot. We're good. Here you go. Not too bad, how are you? I'm doing great. I'm just having a great time playing this game. I just gotta bop bam wham this into shape with a hammer, and we'll have a gear in no time. Give me a minute, alright? How long do you think a minute's gonna take? I'm not sure how long I should wait. This is gonna take just a bit more. Okay, yeah, understandable. I'm just like, maybe it won't take that long. Dude, what do I do about that? What is the recourse to making the limestone Tower of Doom? It won't just destroy itself, huh? There's more pipes. Let me check down here real fast. Wasn't there a workbench down here? Oh, it's over here. the toilet and the bookcase. Okay, nice. Make 2 of these. There's a lure. I see it. Got to read it. Professor Diary number 5. Something shocking has happened. The Pokemon Conservation Project is progressing smoothly, and the time has come for my Tangela to join the others. In the hopes of avoiding a tearful scene, I waited until my grandchild was asleep before entrusting Tangela to one of the other project members. But later that night, I received word that Tangela had run off. Tangela was like family. He should have been accustomed to humans. How could this have happened? I have a theory. Tangela was likely trying to get back to our home. It's nearly time for my family to set off for space, but if Tangela were to make it safely home, by the time he arrives, we'll no longer be there. I feel agonizingly helpless knowing there's nothing I can do. Nothing that is but hope that the project staff find Tangela and keep him safe. That's our Professor Tangrowth! His family, dude! And none of the Pokemon understood what was going on. They were just kept in the dark. And he went home and he wasn't there. His grandchild and his professor, they weren't there. Oh. Why is this gonna make me cry? That's our boy. That's so sad. I just want to go talk to him. You know, that was heartbreaking, man. Looks really nice. Thanks. I don't think I made it right. I need 4 of them, maybe? I need 4 pipes. God, that one broke my heart. Our poor little Professor Tangrowth. And the worst part is it's not unique. Like, how many of these diaries have we read where the Pokemon just got left behind and didn't know what was going on? It's like, it's so sad. I'm too emotional for this. I still got room. I can keep eating, huh? How's your comfort level? You want it more humid? Oh boy. This is a real conundrum, ain't it? Hi, Professor Tangrowth. Can I give you like a big hug? Oh. Okay, let's see if you can appraise something for me, actually. Arctic, put your Vulpix in the PC. We'll be back in a few years. Nah. No, I'll stay here, right? And you wonder if there's people that were left behind and that couldn't survive or something. Man, that is just so sad. A red meteor lamp. Weakness policy, nice. I love getting all the items. I gotta frame them all. Right, that would be really cool, Kiwi. And a twisted spoon. Okay. Gather twine. Bricks, right. Oh wait, we have Vulpix, duh. Oops. I can ask her to make some bricks for me. Excellent. Okay, yeah, now we should probably go back and check on Tinkerton. Worm is so cute. And a bop and a bam and a wham. There we go, all done. Oh, hey there, Charlie, perfect timing. Here, you hang on to this. Tinka gears. With that, you'll be able to make a lift platform. Just set up 2 lift platforms a good distance from each other, and the lift will start moving between them. We've got no time to waste. Alright, I'll follow you. Oh. Wow. You can make vines like that? I had no idea. Right here's the spot. Okay. Oh wait, did I just get the recipe for it? Hold on. I always do this. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about my baby. That Vulpix you found is actually my daughter. Her brother's with me. Okay, let's put this, whoops, right here. You coming, Tinkerton? My bad. Come here. Okay, come here. There we go. I had a feeling that I messed that up. Oh, she got on here with me. Professor Tangrowth had to take his own lift. Okay. Come on, friend. Today's been a good hot day. Hope it's been well here too. Oh yeah. Today got up to 80 degrees for us here. It's very nice. I got baited. I thought that was Cyndaquil spawning in. Rookity, you gotta leave. Oh my god, I brought your natural predator here. We made it awesome. You're a great builder, Tinkaton. I hope you'll continue to help out our friend Charlie. Just say the word and I'll help build up this town any way I can. Let me see if there's anything to get started on. I'm scared for Rookity's life right now. My god. They're returning now. Have you noticed anything of the sort? Yes. That building sure is hard to miss. Rookity, please. Yeah, this one made me think it was Celadon. Humans must have built this massive thing, right? Looks like it's in shambles now, but maybe we can explore it and like fix it up and make it pretty. I bet that'd surprise the humans so much they'd come back to check it out. You're not seriously suggesting we could rebuild that enormous building with only Pokemon to help? Do you think it's possible? I think everything's popsicle. Of course I think it's possible. You got me and Charlie, and if we got everyone else to help out, it'll be a piece of cake. Wow. Okay, maybe not exactly a piece of cake, but I do think we could get it done if we all work together. There's no doubt such a huge building would stand out if we were really able to properly rebuild it. I suppose it is possible the humans might notice and come back. Even apart from that, if we Pokemon really could rebuild something that big on our own, wouldn't that be exciting? See, Professor, you get it. Big buildings are awesome. Then let's do it. That's what I like to hear. Let's go see what we gotta work with. Oh, good. Yeah, stay in there. Lay low. Lay low, Rookity. The coast is not yet clear. Poor little Rookity. Oh, Cyndaquil! Cyndaquil! Yay! Yeah. Oh, sorry you came out of nowhere. Anyway, nice to meet you. I've never been here, but it seems like a great place. I can feel my flames burning strong. That's it. I'm gonna live here now. Perfect little angel. Fire Mouse Pokemon. It usually stays hunched over. If it's angry or surprised, it shoots flames out of its back. I love you. I wish I could pick you up and give you a hug. You want a toy? Okay. I'll play on this slide. Trapinch? I love that guy. I know, he was one of the first encounters we saw today, and I was so confused. It's like, what is he doing here? Well, I suppose we could, just make a little land bridge. So Professor Tangrowth could walk across. Good at making paths. Yeah. I'm so good at making paths and having Pokemon follow them and definitely not get confused. Alright, let's just keep going. Oh, whoops. Excuse me. Not the turtle debacle again. It's okay. I think Tinkaton's probably a little better at maneuvering than Torkoal. Heck yeah, we made it. Did we? Where are you guys? Ooh. Electrical supplies and a whiteboard. Oh wait, no, wait, I don't want to go down. This is very cool, but I would like to stay above the, oh my god, please. Let me just close it. There we go. Where's Tinkaton? Oh, there she is. Okay, good. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Horsey. Oh, yeah, it's the elevator. Microscope. A laptop. Display a photo on the laptop? I can do that? Yeah. What? Awesome. Oh, I got the Sylph code. Yay. What a building. Jamie, thank you for the stream streak, by the way. This building is so big. Seeing it up close is a completely different experience. And do you truly think we can rebuild this gigantic thing? That's what we're about to find out. I gotta go scope out the inside. I'll stay and watch from here. Okay, sounds good. Scope out the second floor. Does this thing work at all? I have to connect it to another platform. That does make sense. I do understand. Okay. Another workbench. Oh! Well, hold on a second. There we go. Oh! Birdsong Garden. Cute. Wonder who will show up there. Moss pad. Ooh. Another moss pad. There's so many. What? Okay, maybe I don't remember how to do that. Did I miss anything? I don't want to overlook anything. What did the humans even do here? Maybe they worked here? In that case, maybe I just gotta... And then I could... Okay, I got some ideas. Come on, let's go check out the third floor. Do you think they're actually gonna help me rebuild this, or is it gonna be me rebuilding all of it? Like, she said maybe everyone can pitch in, but I'm like... You think so? That's the third floor. What do you think, Charlie? Kinda hungry. Now that you mention, I'm a bit hungry too. I got a great idea. I think we know what we should do with this floor. The snack room. It's genius. An iPad? Team Rocket Grunt's journal number 6. The secret of Team Rocket's warehouse. Of course I can't spill all the beans, but I can spill some of them. You probably heard the rumors about having all the humans evacuate in outer space. Well, our boss tells me that the rumors are true. But apparently they don't want Team Rocket doing bad stuff in outer space, so they're gonna split us up. In a different rocket? And send us to different areas. Not cool, people. I can't be the only one who thinks that's not cool. But our boss has us covered. Turns out the warehouse is actually Team Rocket's secret weapon for getting us into outer space together. I cried happy tears. Our boss rules. How are we gonna get to outer space on our own, you ask? Well, I can't tell you that. They said, Team Rocket's not coming with us to space. You guys can figure it out on your own. You're named Team Rocket for a reason, right? I'm sure you can figure it out. The fourth floor is kind of luxurious vibe, don't you think? How do you think we should fix up this floor? Ooh, make it fancy, make it shiny. Make it shiny. I get what you're saying. I like it. We'll polish it up. this stuff. You'll never guess where I am.
Where's Donnie?
He was in here. I don't know. Donnie, are you still here? He was hanging out for a bit. I think Tinkaton left. Do you know where this place is, B? This very large building?
912. That's my boy. Remember?
Donnie?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember you say Brosco all the time. I think we can rebuild this building. What building do you think this is?
Silphco?
Slif. Yes, it's Silphco. Oh, the material. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I do the materials and then Tinkaton's gonna actually build it all up. That's awesome.
I do. I'm so hi, Donnie. I love you.
Hi, Donnie. Oh, I have glass back at the other place.
If we move back here,
concrete.
we're gonna play Descent. Can you not interrupt me?
Can you talk to Donnie Brosco on your own time, please?
If you move back here, we're gonna play some more Descent.
Is that Gardevoir? Is that Polyrath?
Or we'll go full Dungeons and Dragons, bro. Who knows?
I saw Polyrath. I know that I did.
Love you too. I'll talk to you on Snap.
Hi, Madish. Do you still Pokemoba on Pokemon Unite? I've dabbled in some Pokemon Unite. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that has a little slide and stuff over there. Oh, there's so much to explore. What am I to do? Does this need to connect to the top of that, you think? That's the way to do this. Okay, let's build another lift. Concrete. Oh, we don't have enough. That's okay. We only need it on that side anyway. I do need more limestone. I think what we'll have to do... Think about this. It's our only builder Pokemon. Right? Can't just be Tinkaton. Like, I need another builder. I need someone to help me figure all this stuff out. I need to be able to just come back to this place easily. But Tinkaton's the only builder. Oh no, Conkeldurr can build. Okay, thank goodness. I thought that he could only, like, mix or something. Hey, come here, big fella. Okay, we'll have you. Put you and Raichu on the job. How's that sound? Okay, let's also maybe just add a few things in here real quick. I have 4 relaxing park kits. Why do I have so many? Oh, food counter. I didn't even see that. A wall switch? I don't know when I got all this stuff. Okay, well, I need this to be finished, so we're just gonna do a little don't mind me. Just a quick little change of the time. Excellent. Hooray! Perfect. And we just need a little flag for the top of it. And, I don't know. Put this folding chair. Really we can use this graph. Very important. Put some cords on the ground. There we go. Now this is a house. Now we're talking. I haven't gone that way. That has a whole new place to it too. Cool. Okay. Well, for now, let's head back to... Where was it? Where do I need to go? I'm all jumbled up. Oh, I gotta go to Rocky Ridges and get my glass. Much glass I made. Hopefully I made a lot. I think I used a good amount of ash, maybe. Sweet. Tangrowth has been like permanently stuck there. Nice. I don't think there's anything I'm missing out on buying here. There's a CD player. Wait, I can't buy that. I have to wait. I have to save my money. I need to do some mining, maybe. Oh, hello. Thanks, Clefla. Dad sub. Hey, high legacy. The bronze landmark. Oh, that's very nice.
Dad sub.
Okay. Who else needs to do this? We can have you. You can work on it, can't you, Cricketot? Why do I need Chef Greedon to be here? Is there a reason for that? Oops. How's it going? It's going pretty good. Okay, for whatever reason, Chef Dente needs to help with this. Sure wish I had a bunch of different CDs. Oh my god, why do they all sound like that meme? Wish I had a bag of chips. Legacy, how have you been? How's new dad life? How's your baby? Okay. Here we'll add Sylph coat. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Great, she's loud. That's so real. I understand. I wonder why Greedent has to be a part of this. I don't know. Maybe I just misunderstood. Okay, well, that's good. Guess while I'm here, I might as well use the kitchen. She's so cute when she's fed and not pooping though. So true. It's the cutest. When they're all fed and snuggly and kind of scrunchy. They love it. Oh, I miss it. I miss that phase. It was so fun. I've loved every phase so much. But that was such a cute phase. Very nice. I'm just quickly gonna do a little bit of mining. I have inventory space? I do. Okay. Phew. What? Oh. Burrito wrap and Binky OP. My husband would agree. That was like that was like his duty as a father. He's like, I can swaddle you better than anyone. It's like he'd swaddle her so good, and then she would just pass out. Some more iron ore. Mom doesn't come close. I didn't either. That was dad job. He's the burrito master. Oh my gosh. I'll have to show you. Okay, hold on. It's so funny. My daughter doesn't look anything like this now. But when she was a newborn, we had to take her in to get a surgery done when she was about 2 weeks old. And they swaddled her up in, like, the nurse came in that swaddled her up in the most condensed swaddle. She looked like a Chipotle burrito, and it's the cutest. She looked so tiny, and she was a really big baby. Let me find it real fast. I have to show it. It's like one of my favorite little baby pictures of her. I gotta scroll back because my whole phone is just full of baby photos. Oh, she's so teensy. Yeah, the like the NICU doctors, the newborn doctors, they are no joke when it comes to swaddling. is it? Gosh, I just have so many pictures. Oh. It's so hard to tell. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to tell. Look at how condensed she is in this photo. She's literally like just a big burrito. It's so funny to me. She is so cute. Here's this scrunchy little newborn. She looks like what Lego babies are designed after. That's how it felt holding her. Like you feel like a little doll. And then after that swaddling, we were like, I don't know how they did that. That was so so impressive. Here I am, just mining ore. Something I never thought I'd be doing in a video game. It's just not my style of video game. But I'm having so much fun. Okay. Oh, I'm back here. Here's a little gimme cool. Do I have a feather? I don't think so. Oh, I do have a feather. Let's see what happens if I give him one. Whoa, so sparkly. What a texture. This is better than I ever imagined. I knew I could trust you, Ditto. Next time you find some treasure, bring it to me. I'll trade you for something real neat in my collection. Then silver feathers. Also collecting lost relics. But I'm only interested in lost relics if they've been appraised. Well, I would hope so. I'm not bringing him unappraised lost relics. I found your child. What is this? The baby infant brick set. Hold on. Hold on, my browser can't handle this. The baby infant with stud holder on back with smiling face and small eyes pattern. That's literally her. Oh my god, thank you for that. I want a home. Yo, dude, me too. I've been living here a pretty long time now. I'm starting to feel like I kind of want to move. Yeah, let's do it. What is this? I don't want damn Goldango in my town. A pedestal and a golden nugget? The mini museum. Lost relic large. Post any pedestal. Nurse comes in. Can I borrow her? Proceeds to quick pick her up and Heisman trophy her into a table. I know, they like... And you know, they're so good at what they're doing. Like, I trusted them completely. But when it's your brand new baby and it's your first baby, it's like, oh my god. Volcarona! It's just, they're so delicate and little, and the nurses are like, they're not that fragile, don't worry. It's okay. Whenever I approached them, they were always frightened of me and tried to keep their distance. It was quite depressing, to be honest, but there was nothing I could do about it. My apologies. Never mind my musings. I'd love to become friends with you instead. Hi, Volcarona. I'd love to be your friend. Its burning body caused it to be unpopular in hot parts of the world, but in cold ones, Volcarona is revered as an embodiment of the sun. You should have been the pseudo-legendary. Honestly, Volcarona probably should have been the first bug legendary. If they buffed it up a little bit. Not that it needs it, but... Do you know what I'm saying? I'd like to partake in next time everyone's building. It seems quite interesting. Come in. Come in with me. Out of here. Is it this way? What is this way? Have I ever gone this way? Maybe not. Feels like it was intended to be with it being a static encounter, right? I was always so confused. I still think Volcarona is an amazing Pokemon. I'm a big Volcarona fan, Volcarona enjoyer. But yeah, I was really confused when it wasn't a legendary, when it was a static encounter. Wonder if they were just too afraid to commit. They're like, ah, we can't have a bug Pokemon be a legendary. We have to have our only bug mythical be Genesect, and Genesect is sick, but we need a bug legendary. Hey, how's it going? A quiz? What's Cleffa's favorite flavor? Sweet. That just seems just seems like what would be the correct answer. Where's creepy and crawly Pokemon? Next gen Pokemon, Gen 11, Pokemon creepy and crawly. Legit? I would love it. Can I get them to move in somewhere? I'm not gonna move into any of these places. Okay, this is what we'll do. Just time skipping around just a smidge, okay? Just a little tiny smidge. Happened. Oh good, they're still here. There's a new Pokemon in Withered Wasteland. Alright, I don't even remember what I built here. I think it's a house, I hope. Oh, Grey Hut, yeah. Charlie, your turnips! Oh my god, right? Nice. Oh, it's splendid. Oh my god, this is so small. Hey, would you like to move in here? Yeah, it's all yours. Here's the keys to the kingdom. I was really expecting it to be a little bit bigger in here. I can't lie to you, Volcarona, but that's okay. Dang, I gotta get her like a fireplace or something, right? Like, here's this lamp. Ethan on is so cute. Okay. Let's head back to Skylands. A very gassy baby and she hates it. Oh, yeah, the gas is so hard. We did, I'm trying to remember what we did a lot. My baby had to take antibiotics. She's actually still on antibiotics until she gets her second surgery done. And so we gave her a prebiotic in the morning, with a little bit of food, and it helped her a lot with gas. The gas drops. Yeah, I've heard those are helpful too. What's Trapinch mad about? Where'd you go today, Ditto? You gotta take me with you sometime, got it? Want something to relax on. Okay, okay. Would you like perhaps a industrial do you want this pop art sofa? What do you say? Is it cool? I don't think he cared about that at all. Not even a little bit interested. Is this not his house? Oh, this is Pupitar's home. Hold on, hold on. This is his house. He's got benches right here. He is crazy for that. Oh, sorry. Oh my god, I'm making everything worse for him. Okay, here, I'll just put this chair. Boom. Relaxation hard stuff. Hard stuff? Didn't like that. What do I do? I gotta get Trapinch like a proper bed or something. Something hard? None of this is hard. What if I bring him some blocks? You think that he'd be happy with that? Oh wait, Cyndaquil needed the blocks. Where did I put them? I swear every time. There we go. Oh, I got a minute, don't worry. These Vulpix. Okay, very nice. I gotta get him like just a proper house, I think. That is good. But we need to... Oh my gosh, so many materials. I'm so all over the place. Hello, Jordan. How's it going? I need to get more limestone. First and foremost. What did he say? He said, uh-oh, not again. What's happening to him? Oh, hey, Ditto, I wanted to talk to you about something. I really like to fly around while the sun's out, but I always oversleep because I'm so bad at waking up early. I heard those alarm clock things humans use help you wake up early, so can you bring me 5 alarm clocks, Ditto? Dragonite, can you consider the noise pollution for your neighbors, please? 5? Hey, you know, just to be safe. With 5 alarm clocks, I'll probably definitely be able to wake up early. Actually, when I was flying over by the Pokemon Center, I think I heard a weird noise coming from the cave on the back side of the island. What? It was over near the waterfall? What? A cave? I didn't see no dang cave. Oops. He said by the Pokemon Center, didn't he? On the back side of the island? Isn't that close to the Pokemon Center? Oh, there's stuff. Hold on. Hold on. Mind if I do? Yoink. Give me all this. Five alarm clocks? Oh my gosh. Well, I'll be. Dare I say there's 6 alarm clocks. We even get one for ourselves. Is there anything else around here? I really expected there to be like a lore page or something. Can we swim up this? Okay, I just had to see. I just was curious. That'd be so cool. Maybe I'm just like, we need to learn waterfall. That would make sense. You think they have waterfall in this game? Oh, my stamp. Right, right. I hope there's legendaries. There's plenty of legendaries, actually. We've met quite a few so far. We can get just a set of this. Let's go. This newspaper is a toy. So it's interactable. Same with this. That's cool. A bathtub. Oh shoot, I already bought all that stuff. I need to buy the PP up first. Dang it. Metallic smelting furnace? Whoa. Window pane. Concrete slab. A trash site TV habitat hint. And they're yours, and you can capture them in a ball and use them to beat up other Pokemon? Well, not exactly. Okay, there's a rare that only comes out at night with the TV and the trash bags. There's 2 rares? Wonder what they are. The trash TV? The fireplace nap spot. That looks nice. That looks like, for some reason, it's probably a fire Pokemon, but that looks like someplace that Mimikyu would hang out, doesn't it? Need a wide seat and a stone fireplace. Okay. What was I up to? What was I doing? What was I doing? Oh! Right, we need to go get more limestone. Okay, let's go over here for a moment. Pay no attention to the giant limestone in the sky, okay? wish I could do something to destroy that. Oh, there's more lore. How do I keep overlooking this stuff? USA's Moist Wanted gifted a sub to Ben. Oh, hey, thank you so much. Thank you for giving that sub to Ben. I really appreciate you. Okay, we'll grab as much of this limestone as we can. Oh, I guess there's a bunch in the other place too, in Bleaky whatever that we were just at. Thanks for the badge. Oh, awesome. Yeah, no problem. Oh. Who's this? What are they doing over here? Duskull? Oh, look how cool. Duskull as a 3D model is so neat because of the one eye that's like just always looking at you. Wait, you're not a human child. Your appearance, it misleads. No, you did not do wrong, it's just me. I very much like human children, but I do not see them around here. Dude, every ghost Pokemon. Get it together. Maybe it's good they're in space. In the dead of night, these Pokemon wander through towns in search of children whose vital energy is Duskull's favorite food. So crazy. Okay, well I don't want you stuck here by yourself, so just follow me. I would love to have Mewtwo show up and just spit inspirational lines. I see now. The circumstances one's birth are irrelevant. It's what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are. So true. We would have to go through his whole character arc again. He's like, all the humans are in space? Word. Sick. This is just for us now? That's the best news I ever heard. Oh, another fossil. What can I throw away for a moment? The sky-high grass. It's so great. This soil is fine. We can just set that over here for a minute. Headbutt fossil. Oh, like a Craniados? That's awesome. Okay. Gotta go get this lore. Hearing about the boss's dream of keeping Team Rocket together, even in outer space, really got me motivated. I'm gonna give my mission one more serious go. I did a little work on the warehouse to trick people walking by into wanting to help out with my mission. It was a lot of work, but I just had to keep in mind that I was working hard in the moment so I could take it easy later. Not a bad way to do things, I think. A great way to do things, honestly. The engineers all looked kind of annoyed with me, but they did lend me a hand. Now all I gotta do is wait for some goody-goody to come along and do my mission for me. I'm gonna go ahead and report to the boss what I've accomplished. I bet he'll be so proud. Oh, right, carrying too much stuff. We don't need that. Overhaul cover. Potatoes? What? Why yes, I would love some potatoes. I'm so bad at parting with things. I need to just go back and clear out my inventory for the 10 trillionth time. We can part with these leaves for now. Do you think Dusko can just fly over? Oh good, he just auto came with me. I didn't even think about the nighttime encounters. Come on, fella. Oh! What's Tad doing down here? Trying to get away from Dragonite's 5 alarm clocks, probably. Oh, because Dragonite's sleeping on his bed. That's so rude. Dude, where did all of our alarm clocks go? Oh. Oh, I just need to put them by his home. Okay. Oh man, I just feel really bad doing this. I'll never oversleep again. I have to be careful not to turn them off with my hyper beam. Alright. So ridiculous. Oh, right. I gotta go put this in here. Yeah, okay, now where's Conk Elder? My home, it could be a bit smaller, I think. Oh, he thinks it's a bit small. You want to live here? No, he doesn't. So maybe, wait, did his house need to be by a bench? Is that what it is? Oh, it made a moss pad. Whoa. Didn't know it could do that. The berry that was stuck in my throat isn't stuck anymore. Here. This game like Stardew Valley. I actually have not really ever played Stardew Valley, so I couldn't speak to it very much. To me, it's very similar to. It's like a mixture of Dragon Quest Builders. Have you ever played that? It's from the same makers of them, so very similar game. Little bit of Animal Crossing, little bit of Viva Pinata, and a little bit of Minecraft. In a Pokemon bow. Come here, Conk Elder. Get rid of this, actually. This is just taking up space for no good reason. There we go. Go ahead. Excellent. Okay, he's gonna work on the concrete. I need to go back. Oh, I know. I need to make the lift to get back to Tinkaton. What do I need? Right, that was the whole problem, was the concrete. Maybe I can take this lift in the meantime? No, I cannot. It will not let me take that lift. Okay. How long do you think this takes? A while. Damn it. Well, oh. Speaking of which, I think I have to wrap it up here. Because my baby just woke up too. So I'm gonna get us both to sleep. We gotta build Sylph Company, and then the Pokemon Center, and I wonder who's gonna show up for that. That's so exciting. Alright, you guys. I hope that you have a really good night, and I will be seeing you later. I will probably not be live tomorrow, but plan on me being live either Saturday or Sunday for some Resident Evil. So I will see you then. Goodbye. See ya.